Hello BookTube, this is Weekly Reads. My reading plan for this week did not quite turn out how I wanted it to. My plan originally was to read over the weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, from Genghis Khan to Tamerlane by Peter Jackson. And then over the course of the work week and into this upcoming weekend, The Middle Kingdoms by Martyn, Rady. My plan faltered with From Genghis Khan to Tamerlane by Peter Jackson. So this is a history of the Mongols between Genghis Khan and Tamerlane, as well as during Tamerlane's life and afterwards. I have developed a interest in the Mongols. I have a few books on the Mongols, and I was hoping this book would be a good addition. Unfortunately, the introduction is not very good, although a lot of the introductions to works of history that I've read lately have not been all that great. And then the first chapter, which is supposed to be on sources, could have been condensed down to about 3 or 4, maybe 5 pages at most of the introduction. And the overview of the kind of the Mongols during Genghis Khan's period was, it was an overview, but it was sort of a more academic overview than a narrative overview. And before I build on the book, which I build at the 3rd chapter, the chapter on the Islamization of the Mongols, I found myself not really all that interested in the book. It was that kind of the bad sort of academic writing. So I build on it. And over the rest of Saturday and into Sunday, I read some poetry that I had just hauled. So on Saturday, after I bailed on From Genghis Khan to Tamerlane, I read From Unincorporated Territory, Amot by Santos Perez. So this is a volume of poetry that looks at, that focuses on Guam and the diaspora of the people from Guam. And it is a bit of a mixed bag. There are some really good poems in here, particularly Trespass is really good. And the Micronesian Kingfisher ones are pretty good as well. And several others. But the problem with the book is that at certain points, Santos Perez tries some poetic techniques, namely in like the Kingfisher poem. He will give, and some other poems, he will give background information in lighter font color and turned upside down. So it makes the poem rather difficult to read, because how exactly are you supposed to get these intrusions? And I think these techniques kind of hamper the overall reading experience, although I did enjoy several of the poems. But I had much more success with Punk's New and Selected Poems by John Keene. So this is a collection of poems from throughout Keene's career, and they were quite good. I really enjoyed many of the poems in this collection. Okay. So over the course of the work week, I have been reading The Middle Kingdoms by Martyn Rady. So this is a history of Central Europe from the Roman period up through to the present. I am more than halfway through. I have about 248 pages left, or thereabouts. And it's okay. It's narrative, and I like that. But I also want to be finished with it. I'm not loving it. It's just okay. So now I don't know exactly when I'm going to be finished with the Middle Kingdoms. I probably will finish it on Sunday, fairly early, because if I can get 200 pages tomorrow, and then the final few pages on Sunday, I'll be able to read at least one slim volume of poetry. Although I will sort of, even though I've got 2 slim volumes of poetry set up, I might change my mind over the weekend. We shall see. But as it stands now, I would like to get to either Tripas by Brandon Som or The Curve of Things by Kremins. And over the course of this coming work week, my plan is to read selected poems by Adrienne Rich. And if things work out, I will try to get to Our Town by Thornton Wilder. And if I'm really lucky, Can a Hot Tin Roof by Tennessee Williams. So that's what I've read and what I plan to read. Not a really super enthusiastic reading week, I have to say. But anyway, so actually I'm going to start it this weekend. So starting this weekend, I'm going to begin the history part of my 2024 library tour. Now, there are 3 bookcases of 5 shelves each, which means the tour will take 3 weeks from Monday through Friday. But there are 2 other sections, my headboard bookcase and the wall shelf. So those sections I'm going to do during the weekend. So this weekend I'm going to do the headboard bookcase. And then the following weekend I will do the wall shelf either as one long video or 2 shorter videos, depending how things go. But then over the course of the work week, I will do the bookcases. I don't know if I will do these as like part 1 through part 18 or 19, or if I will try to give each section a humorous name of some form or other. I have not quite decided that. I will think about it overnight and into tomorrow. And then as I upload the videos, you'll find out. There are also some discussion videos I would like to make, although I think part of the impetus for one is passing. Since over the course of June, I've been thinking about Westerns, namely what happened to them. They used to be one of the most popular genres of fiction, and they're not anymore. And now Steve and Steve Donahue and Michael K. Vaughn made videos earlier in June talking about it, and I'm not entirely sure I'm convinced by their arguments of what caused the down, or why Westerns aren't as popular as they used to be. But Westerns don't do anything for me, so I don't know if my suspicions about of course, I don't actually have anything to point my finger to, so anyway. Yeah, so that's it for this week. I will be back tomorrow with part 1 of history, so until then, thank you, BookTube. Have a great rest of your evening, and stay safe.